Smart 24, driving business.
And yes, thank you so much for keeping it on Smart 24 TV. My name is Noah Wapera, and this is the Economic Agenda. Time is just about 1 minute past 9. Today is the 11th of June 2024, and we are warmly starting our show with one of those very crucial conversations of the season. This concerns everyone, this concerns every citizen. I know that people who look at it 3 years ago, after the budget, my sister went, she was buying, I think, papaya smarts, and the man who was selling the papaya smarts told her, the budget is budget. I still don't understand how Ugandans understand the term budget, the national budget. But actually, she was increasing price for the papaya smart because the budget had been read. Up to now, I'm still asking myself, how do Ugandans understand the budget? Anyways, we are going to have a wonderful conversation. I have two guests, Ugandans, qualified and with knowledge in this area. And one has been here before, and the wonderful lady with me, who is also going to introduce herself, is not a new face to so many people out there that follow procurement and also tend to follow politics at district and national level. The conversation today is leadership and accountability, and we're looking at how political leaders can ensure effective budget utilization. And this is why I will tell you, call your friends, your relatives, and tell them, come and will understand what budgeting is. Welcome to Smart 24 TV, driving business, and I'll take this opportunity to welcome my guests. From my very close left, I think I'll start from there, the only lady on the show. I'll give her the opportunity to introduce herself.
Thank you very much. Good evening, our viewers. I'm called Logose Sarah Annette. Yeah, I hail from Butaleja district. I'm very glad to be here in the studios of Smart TV. And I must say, thank the management for the service delivery that you have done to us as Ugandans. Yeah, I've always followed this program. And I must say, I really love the interaction and the value added in our brains and in our economic activities due to the knowledge which we get right from this program. So whosoever is watching us, please let us share this today. And I'm very glad to have you as our viewers today. Thank you.
The parts that she missed are the titles.
The titles.
I know those are very important for Ugandan.
With the titles, basically, I'm a procurement specialist, basically consultancy, as per now, because I have my consultancy firm, which I've just opened up. It is a baby farm, but hoping to grow it up with time.
Okay.
And I'm also a life coach. Basically, I'm a transformation and leadership coach. Yeah, and I thank God that I serve in those capacities. And as I talk, I'm aspiring for the district to my member of parliament, Taleja district.
That one wouldn't miss out, but we shall try to advertise.
I know why people could be asking.
So you said the farm is the farm is still young, but with this brain, we are sure the farm is going to pick up and be a serious success out there. Mr. James Weed, my partner in crime. Arrested once, I could give you a profile. Arrested once for exposing corruption. Called a blogger for writing the truth. What else can I say? A man of so many names.
The forward man.
The forward man. He's headed for that. Okay, please.
A man of many hats.
A man of many hats.
Wow.
A good day to you viewers. My name is James Wire, like the ever jolly host has said. Yeah, basically I'm an entrepreneur and a public advocate, doing a lot of community work and also trying to see that our country gets run in a much better way.
I love to hear that, and we pray that that betterness can happen as soon as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, starting from leadership and accountability, I have people starting from Logose, who is a transformational and leadership coach. I would want to understand, for the young people out there, even some of us, the adults, have failed to understand the whole value in leadership. If you're speaking to young people out there,
Yes.
what do you tell them leadership is exactly?
Okay, thank you. When I'm to look at leadership, I'll use my perspective as a person, as well as what I get from the different fields where we go to, what we read. You know, sometimes we tend to mix up leadership and politics,
Yes.
though they go hand in hand, because I believe one leads to the other. But when we are talking about leadership, we are looking at service delivery. But when we are looking at that service delivery again, it comes back to you, the leader, first. First of all, understanding the dynamics, the current dynamics of leadership at that point of time. Then understanding the needs of people on the ground. Then also comparing the needs of the people as well as the national needs. Because of course when you're serving people, we are looking at that comparison, because you're in the middle of the two. Here we are having government. Though government, we are the people, yes, but we are looking at government as well as looking at the people where you are exactly serving. So when we are to look at leadership, we are looking at a heart of service. That is after understanding the needs of the ground.
Wow.
Then in comparison or in relationship with the needs of the national needs. So to achieve that, you have to compare and strike a balance. So with the leadership qualities, of course, in you, you must understand what the field is. On understanding the field, then you'll go ahead and mix up the two. Okay. Those are the needs on the ground and the national needs. Then you will fulfill. Because we are looking at the national needs, sometimes they may be a priority. But how do you get these needs into the national needs for you to move as you serve your people?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I give the microphone to the right person, and I realize I give the microphone to the right person. In other words, from my understanding of the explanation,
yes,
you have clearly told us that there's no leadership without you understanding the needs of the people.
No, actually, there is no leadership without understanding. Because what are you going to say?
James, do Ugandan leaders understand the needs of their people as you explain leadership and accountability?
Well, personally, I believe they do. Sometimes they don't.
To what extent? Why would we with the extent? To the large extent,
in most cases, before they get the opportunity to lead, they do understand.
Okay.
And they articulate them very well. When they get into that situation where they are actually taking on the reins of leadership, they end up doing the reverse. So you wonder whether they actually don't understand or some sort of virus tends to come in that pollutes their ability to to think straight. Yeah, but I think they do. They do.
They do.
They just get detached, maybe.
James. Well, at the moment, Uganda is going through a lot of things. We just had the State of the Nation address that Daily Monitor put a front page, an empty front page, clearly, and the cartoon that they draw, they seem to insinuate that the president said nothing. According to them, I'm reporting what I read. See, James is looking at me with a funny face. But they report what they saw. So according to them, they seem to report that, the speech, they didn't get what they wanted. It happens with the people you're leading. Sometimes what you're offering is actually, you understand it. But then James somewhere intelligence says, I don't think I'm seeing empty things. Some people serve and deliver, but some people don't see what they're doing. The State of the Nation address happened. We have had the budget framework launched, and of course we are in the budget month. Of course, the budget is going to be read. We have also seen lots of scandals. The other day, there was a gentleman that was accusing the president, not accusing, but he was explaining to the president that the people are taking money anyhow, they can't even stop. Yesterday, my MP from Butaleja was arrested in a corruption scandal, allegedly corruption scandal. I don't know whether he's still detained. Honorable Mutembuli Yusuf.
Yes,
He's still detained. I hope you went to see him. Because what I'm sure about is that James, you're from Butaleja. But yes, Honorable Mutembuli, there's also a representative from Luengo, and then a representative from Busiki, that's Akamba. One of the men that I've respected in Parliament actually for some time, because if there are men that have defended people, the other time he was speaking passionately about Namutumba Butaleja Road, so I've respected him for that. They were arrested allegedly on corruption issues. James, from those updates, we need to understand. I want to basically have this topic detailed and explained to the young people, the elders out there, the leaders. You have talked about leadership. She has talked about leadership. Could you help us understand what accountability is when it comes to leadership?
Accountability basically entails being able to show cause. You have been given an opportunity to do something or to put into place an agenda you came up with. So accountability is when the stage where people ask, you promised A, you promised B.
Yes.
How far are we
with this?
With them? Okay? And accountability cuts across all spheres of life. Right from as an individual, even a child who goes to school has to be accountable. The parents have paid school fees, they expect a good report. That's accountability. In a home, money has been availed, is there food? Has rent been paid? So now we go to the national level, it's the same thing also. We have a nation where we have to budget for ABCD, and in the budget, remember it's a bottom-up process. It starts right from the various agencies, the local governments, at the district level. You go to the various institutions that form the government. They all make budgets. Comes to the center, Minister of Finance. Then this is a budget for the year. When the year ends, we need to find out. You said you are going to spend 20 trillion on roads. Which roads have been built, for example?
Yes.
You get it, eh? Yeah, so accountability basically boils down to that.
Goes down
the time for the report card to tell us how far you have been able to move.
Let me speak to that. At least a declared politician. Declared politician.
Yes, please.
And right here on the national television, she has already told you she's actively in politics.
Yeah.
We are looking at accountability as a politician.
Yes.
what would be the best angle you would make a person in Ilwengo, a person in Busiki, to understand what accountability is?
With accountability, I look at the roles and responsibilities of the different parties who are involved in, like today as we are discussing the budget. We are looking at the roles and responsibilities of the different departments, the different stakeholders, the different ministries, the different agencies, the different partners, especially when you're allocated the resources. So we are looking at which role did you play in a particular part, according to what you were assigned to, according to the resources that were given to you.
Yes.
How did you use them? How did you utilize them?
Was it effectively?
Was it effectively
or
utilized?
Or we can say you failed.
Or we can say you failed. Can we really appreciate the results according to what you were given and what comes out? So you are accountable for that particular point or the particular resources that were given to you in your sector, in your department, in your ministry.
Yes.
I look at the responsibilities of the various partners in this whole budget process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. James, accountability. I'm trying to figure out a picture of politicians who come to us and speak passionately about what they are going to deliver. I know that's where Logos is heading in the next few months.
Promising heaven and earth.
James, I also smell a rat, but let me keep quiet. I'm looking at how you passionately talk to us about the things you want to do. And James, you have been a voice for the community for some time. You have written about PDM, parish development model. You have defended people, service seekers who want services at the hospital, and you are chairperson board of board of governors for board of governors of Solo Hospital, and you have participated in national engagements when it comes to governance and different things. Let's be realistic looking at the current situation of leadership. Are we being accounted to, and are we being accountable enough? Are we seeing accountability currently in the different roles that leaders play? You can possibly pick a district, you can possibly go national if it's okay. We're on national television, even the president can be talked about.
To be honest, I think if we are to do an accountability check in terms of delivery, we are scoring very, very badly. It's a pity that our country currently, especially the leadership, seems to have gotten aloof, and they don't really give so much of a damn what people think. And in most cases, it takes external forces outside of our boundaries for some action to start taking place. Why do I say this? Every time I nearly tear when I see how fast Tanzania, a country which was way, way behind us some years back, is making progress. And take it from me, because of the accountability systems in place in Tanzania, within the next 5 years, not even 10, 5 years, the people who are running to Dubai will be going to Tanzania.
Very soon. They have already started. Because we're running there for rice already.
That country is going places, and they are so accountable for all the actions. You compare some of the projects pound for pound. Let's take an example, SGR. Our SGR, less than 350 kilometers. Its cost compared to the Tanzanian SGR, which is over 1,000 kilometers, around 1,500 probably. The cost of ours compared to theirs is ours is like around nearly a third of the cost of the other one.
Wow.
Okay, and you wonder. Look at simple projects that go on that side. If you look at Tanzania, Dar es Salaam alone, the projects and investments have been done rehabilitating the harbour, building some very serious bridges, so many facilities. They are being implemented. That is accountability. They are seeing. Here we talk about it.
Yes.
Okay?
Implemented.
The budget is ready, you see results.
Yes. The time it takes to account for something is forever. I'll use Northern Bypass as an example. They started working on it around 2008. I remember that very well because that's around the time when I took my firstborn son to Aga Khan Primary School to study.
Yes.
He finished P7, it wasn't done. By the time he was in senior, mid-senior, that's when they were fearing, slightly complete. Then turn to the dual carriage that it is today. Again, the guy is in S6 now.
Wow.
You get it? Just a small that's a small project, by the way.
Yeah, it's a very
We
small
can't just whatever. Now what happens if you have to start on Ginger Expressway? Are we going to take 2 decades? You get it, eh? So we're
Butaleja has taken 27 years. Yeah.
Without what?
Without a single thing done.
Yeah,
That's laughable.
Yeah,
I know.
So
We are such a
but the
joke.
cases where I was happy there was a bridge that was constructed in Palisa on time and under budget.
Wow.
That is a plus.
But you see, that's why it gets very interesting. Which people in Uganda deliver very fast and effectively, and which people don't? Why don't we prioritize people who deliver on time and are accountable? The same thing with leaders. This leader has not been accountable this time, and you're still going to be like, oh yes. I know recently I saw a video of someone who was encouraging that politicians shouldn't be in parliament for only one term. It's going to cause a lot of trouble, and I'm still thinking about that theory. I have failed to comprehend it. I don't know where he leaves us, because he claims that if we put them for one term, they will begin going to eat and come back. But the people have been there for 20 years and more, and they're still not accountable.
Yeah.
What do you...
No, it is still possible to deliver even amidst this chaotic environment.
Yes.
Okay, like that example I gave you of that bridge in Palisa. Another example is the renovation of the Busole Hospital, of which I'm the board chairman.
Congratulations.
I want to assure you that project has run well. The shortcoming, it was meant to be completed by June this year as I speak. It's supposed to end this month, but we're going to be delayed by just 1 month. Why? Because of funds released by the Ministry of Health.
Before I come to Logose, what has been done different with that project?
It boils down to the spirit behind those who are managing the project.
As simple as that.
Simple.
Logose. Logose.
Yes.
You're a politician. Once again, I will have to echo that. And you seem to be doing well in that area.
Wow.
I wanted to find out how political leaders can balance or prioritize the national budget and politics, accountability and politics, service delivery and politics. Because in your explanation of leadership, you said separate politics from leadership.
Exactly.
Please put more light to this.
Okay. When we are looking at the priorities now, of course, generally in life, priorities are very, very important because they help you, especially when you're planning. Yeah, when you're planning, you'll always look at the priorities, and this will help you achieve. In most cases, you achieve what you want. So when we are looking at striking a balance between the government or the national priorities with politics,
Yes.
with the service delivery, we are looking at, for instance, I'll give you an example. As you've said, that when we are in this game, I always call it a game because basically it is a game which we play.
It's a brain game.
Yeah. Then after that, that's when you focus now on leadership.
On leadership.
Yeah, that's why I say these two must be identical and you must separate them.
Yes.
Because during politics, I'm playing a game of win. After winning, what comes next? Go through leadership and settle in leadership and take action. Because here we are looking at where you have to look at this the period of politics you've been in your electorates, and you've gotten various ideas.
Yes.
Of which now from here you are going high into now the government itself.
Yes.
So when you're looking at what you've been talking about, is it in relationship with the government priorities? And when you're relating them to the government priorities, are you now flashing back on your promises?
To the citizens.
Because now I may have sat down and maybe told people I'm going to give you a school, I'm going to, when you elect me, that language.
You have seen people promise the road.
You promise the road, but when you're looking at the government giving you the road, of course, they are certain. We have certain factors that are considered for us to be given the road, and there is a procedure for that. And if you know that there is a procedure for that, you'll have. That is what I said, that you have to learn the needs on the ground in comparison with the national needs. Because when you bring them together, you will know what to promise and what
not to promise.
Or how are you promising it? Are you promising it that you will do it, or I'm going to work hand in hand? Because that one will help you when you go back to your electorates and you begin explaining to them, you know what, here I said this, do you remember? And these people are wise. Because nowadays, they can even play for you the first video when you appeared.
There's a video that was running. One of the MPs who was saying that if a tarmac road is not here,
I will not come back. I will not come back for nomination.
So I mean that video moved. I have been looking for it for some time. I know James must be having some. He's very good at keeping records.
He has. I know he also has mine. So when we are looking at in most cases, when you go to parliament, or when we are looking at government working upon certain projects, we always, the way I see things move, we always see that what helps the nationals is what is always considered a priority. So whenever we are coming to the ground to talk to people, we must know which message are we delivering.
We are going to step into a short commercial break. While Logos is presenting, makes me feel like some politicians are doing primary school campaigns. I'm going to give you an airport. Literally, that chap can't bring an airport.
You know?
We are going to be eating cakes every day.
Every day.
And
we shall be dancing every
weekend, you know.
Yes.
So I think it's also very good to highlight the priorities and consider what is achievable and what is not achievable, which is a lesson that is very important. And for any politician out there and citizens, and also to tap on the fact that people have failed to separate leadership from politics. They carry leadership. They carry politics into leadership,
which is very wrong.
That's when we see a lot of selfishness, a lot of thuggery, a lot of corruption, a lot of stealing and looting public funds. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me step into a very short commercial break. The economic agenda is still here, and trust me, this conversation is not about to end until 10:30. And we have not even tapped a little bit of it. So stay tuned. We'll return. My name is Noah Opera, and this is Smart 24 TV. You're watching the Economic Agenda. We'll return.
Smart 24, driving business. Luxury redefined at Seasan Hotel as you indulge in the splendor of elegant living fit for the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, pampering and blissful customer-centric service as you select from our range of comfy exquisite living quarters furnished to meet with your royal preference. Surrounded by scenic beauty, our tropical setting allows you to escape the glamorous ordeal of city life. Our ambient green gardens will guide you to a place of revitalizing rest. The 3-star restaurant caters to your palate, serving your choice menu ranging from exotic cuisines to local delicacies. Our chefs will serve you full course meals for a truly out-of-this-world culinary experience. Our fully stocked bar to whet your throat, from renowned global brand whisks, brandies, gins, beers and wines to our locally celebrated beverages, you will not lack for any brewage. It's an all-new experience in the East at Seasan Hotel. So visit today at plot 15 to 19 Spire Road, Ginger, or contact us on +256 751 719 960 and +256 785 354 614 for reservations. Seasan Hotels, luxury redefined.
This is GOTV, and right here is where you can catch the brilliance of Mbappe, the scoring power of Kane, Ronaldo's, and all of the greats fighting for the glory to be crowned the kings of Europe. Don't miss the unbeatable action of all 51 games of Europe's biggest football event live on SuperSport on GOTV and GOTV Stream. The Euro 2024 live. That's GOTV for you. Love it.
Amanya gange bampita Agnes Kasoga. Kolera nakawa nze muwanguzi na wangudde school fees. Na desimanyi ebintu bino bya ddala kubanga ne yankubira namulimba nnyo ne mugamba nkolera nakifuma nga manyi bafere olwamala ate naddamu nankubira ne mugamba ekituufu sikolera nakifuma badde manyi muli bafere nga simanyi bya ddala nalabirawo nga baŋŋamba ndi omu ku bawanguzi naye nsanyuka nnyo.
Akalulu k'omuwanguzi!
Okuwangula kyangu nnyo, teeka ssente ku ssimu yo otandika okusasulira ku ssimu yo. Abantu mbakakasiza era nabagambye bwe mulaba nga bampadde ne mbagamba nga mutegeera bituufu kubanga nange mwennyini mbadde nga ku TV nga manyi balimba naye ke neerabiddeko bwe nti kyekyo ddala kyekyo MTN osobola okuwangula.
Together, we're unstoppable.
Blue magic is my joy. Ono blue magic, wange. Ayo, talaba kumabala, atukuza nonyirirawo kirako enyange. Tayisa bubi fabriki, kyonna kyekiri kigwa lwa blue magic. Blue magic is my choice. Ono blue magic, ye wange. And the blue magic is my choice. Hey, ono blue magic, ye wange.
Luxury redefined at Seasan Hotel as you indulge in the splendor of elegant living fit for the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, pampering and blissful customer-centric service as you select from our range of comfy exquisite living quarters furnished to meet with your royal preference. Surrounded by scenic beauty, our tropical setting allows you to escape the glamorous ordeal of city life. Our ambient green gardens will guide you to a place of revitalizing rest. The 3-star restaurant caters to your palate, serving your choice menu ranging from exotic cuisines to local delicacies. Our chefs will serve you full course meals for a truly out-of-this-world culinary experience. Our fully stocked bar to whet your throat, From renowned global brand whisks, brandies, gins, beers and wines to our locally celebrated beverages, you will not lack for any brewage. It's an all-new experience in the East at Seasun Hotel. So visit today at Plot 15 to 19 Spire Road, Ginger, or contact us on +256 751 719 960 and +256 785 354 614 for reservations. Seasun Hotels, luxury redefined.
Smart 24, driving business.
And yes, we are back with the economic agenda. Thank you so much for being part of Smart 24 TV driving business. For those that just go to this channel today, we are a channel that is focused on broadcasting business ideas, business news, and I mean, you may be tired, you may be like us who are tired of watching gossiping all the time. So we get a little bit serious, but we also entertain. You need to make sure that you watch all those programs in the course of the week, in the course of the day. Before I left, my guests, my very tough guests, were lecturing the public on accountability and leadership. And they were lecturing people on the issue of how we can separate leadership from politics. I was going to say from corruption. Because I think it's what is running in my head is like any Uganda who thinks that every politician, what is written on him is politics, and that is a very unfortunate trend. Politics doesn't mean corruption. Politics is simply winning people to believe in your ideology. Which ideology? You have to make sure that it's good, and it's good for the country. Just a little bit of background into this conversation. Uganda is set to launch a budget, implement a budget of I think over 72 trillion Uganda shillings. And I think here they're saying the budget portion of the budget, 32.3 trillion, will be sourced from domestic revenue. That is your tax, yeah, and also other sources include grants and loans, which amount to up to 1.3 trillion, domestic financing, and the domestic borrowing up to 8.9 trillion. That's, I hope I have the right statistics here. If I don't, one thing that I'm trying to emphasize here is that the national budget, a huge chunk of money is from the tax collected domestically. Yeah?
Yes.
Then the government, because of some, challenges, we borrow money from other institutions, but also locally from private institutions. We also borrow money locally to make sure that national development is on. And when we talk about national development, we mean so many other things. These are going to include, I think according to the budget allocation of this year, there's human capital development, there's governance and security, integrated transport, infrastructure and services, there is a private sector development, there is a development plan implementation, sustainable energy development, there's agro-industrialization, there's legislature, oversight, and representation, there's tourism and development. Human capital is what caught my attention. We're talking about with James. What were the highlights? You had an interest in human capital.
Human capital, we realize, has got to do with training, skilling people, education, and all that, which was quite interesting, that it's being given some significant share.
At about 26%, 26.3%.
Though it is just slightly
slightly higher than governance and security.
Governance and security, which basically
about up to 24.2%.
And that to me makes me a little uncomfortable, because I think we're spending too much on things to do with security.
Is the father feeding the ego still?
We don't really, we are losing out in areas where we should make our people, our society, get the best out of this budget.
Yes.
And we think that always going around gun-toting. Compare that also with agriculture, the resources that are going to agriculture.
Yes, agriculture, agro-industrialization is at 4.4%.
And yet, it is the mainstay.
That's where our logo said mentioned
of the majority. Okay?
Yes.
Agriculture is the mainstay. Nearly over 60% of people in this country are operating in the agriculture value chain, right from production all the way to processing.
Yes.
So you don't tell me that you're going to ignore them. You compare how much has been devoted to agriculture versus the parliament.
Yes. Because I'm looking at two things here, governance and security. I think parliament might still be in governance, but also there's legislature, oversight and representation, which has the 2.6% on the budget.
Compared to what for agriculture?
Compared to 4.4%.
So basically it is half. The legislature is taking half of what the over 60% Ugandans are being given to make them more productive. So is there productivity in the running around in parliament and debating? Personally, I think if I were to become president, I would ensure that MPs don't get salaries at all.
I hope it's not a declaration. Let's get
that's when you get genuine representatives.
Let's get back to accountability. The other issue of presidency. let's get to, but that's a very important message, and I think when you're looking at leadership and accountability, the word priority should be highlighted in bold, in caps. Because I think it's where we miss a point. We have seen Parliament prioritizing their holidays at the expense of hospitals. We have seen leaders prioritizing their vehicles that they use for transportation. Somebody has a fleet of 5 gasoline-consuming cars in millions of money. And the cars themselves cost in billions, but at the cost of schools in Butaleja, in Ilwengo, in Kalisizo, in Barara, that don't have roofs on them. So priorities is one of the things that I want to highlight. I want to take as a take home that Logos has been mentioning a lot. Getting back to our conversation, James. And Logos, I think I will have to bring this to you. Looking at the strategies for politicians when it comes to budget utilization or budget allocation, what would you advise politicians? And if you were in that position, what strategies would you look at to make sure that budget is allocated appropriately for anybody in Busoga, Kamuli, Kalido?
As you also take me back to Butalija.
Yes.
When, if you know, there is it a proverb which says that you can't bite what you can't measure.
What you can't chew and swallow. Yes.
So when we are looking at the strategies on how do we utilize the budget?
Yes.
We are given the monies, and how do we utilize them? First of all, as I said, you need to understand the ground needs. You have to also look at the previous performance.
Yes.
The previous performance will always give us the guideline on how to go about the monies that are provided in the different sectors, and according to the performance of the different sectors previously. Because when we look at these reports in comparison to today,
yes,
as well as the forecasts ahead,
yes,
it will help us plan. And of course, these strategies must always be looked at, especially after the analysis of the previous reports, today's trends, and the forecasted factors that are coming ahead. When we are looking at the budget preparation, this should be prepared in accordance to what you have on table.
Yes.
Because when you begin planning for what you have without looking at where you've been, the journey may fail.
That's true.
Yeah, because you may not know what worked for you previously. Are you maintaining it, or are you dropping it? And if you're dropping it, you assess the present one which you would love to implement. Do you think it will work out? Yeah, because in most cases you may have new strategies.
Yeah.
When you're having the new strategies in comparison with the strategies that you implemented in the last budget process, did it? Where do you see yourself?
Yes.
Because here we are looking at the annual budget, whereby of course there will be few changes just in case we have maybe the supplementary budget, and you know how it comes about. But when we are looking at the approved budget, or let me say the budget that you're going to approve, we shall always look at the previous, today, and in future, and this one will always help you on the proper implementation, because here we are also looking at the roles that were played previously, which participants were there, how did they do, how did they act, and we are also looking at today, who are those involved, and actually we should also go deep and understand the reasons. We should go ahead and understand the reasons why we are putting a particular person under a certain, maybe I would say, like the way the leaders get involved in selecting the sector committees.
Yes, yes.
When you are looking at the selection of the parties who are playing their roles at a particular committee, we must be having reasons why those people are there, and we must always see whether the goals and objectives, both at national level and I may say national and local government level, how are they going to help us achieve?
Thank you.
Yes.
In other words, I'm looking at someone, a politician who is positioning herself in the right places to pick out what really is important at that time, and what is doable and what is not doable. In most cases, I think politicians miss a point, because you find them doing something at a time. Some of them have made it a tradition of doing certain things. I have this, but when that time comes, there's a certain need. You get? There's a certain need. So in other words, you will have to always consider what happened last year, what is happening today. Maybe we need to forego the other. So, for example, what I'm learning from your conversation, over the years, we have seen that during the rainy season, it's when people begin lobbying for renovation of the roads. James.
And also planting of trees.
And planting of trees. But how about if you put your efforts in lobbying for something sustainable? It's what I think about most of the time.
I wouldn't really blame, I would start by blaming the politicians. I think it starts right from the center.
Okay.
A nation should have what you would call a development plan. Okay?
Yes.
A plan that is in tandem with the real needs of the nation. And that plan should be implementable.
Okay.
So as a politician, it is advisable to tap off that plan. In whatever you're promising, you should make it align with that plan. And hopefully, as the government is implementing that plan, whatever you promised also comes into play. For example, if it's infrastructure, you will know that, in the next 10 years, the government's plan is to ensure that it improves on health facilities and transport. So when you're going out there to campaign, you're like, okay, I'll make sure we have probably a tarmac road.
Yes.
It's already in line with the plan for that. Or I'll make sure health centers are upgraded to maybe health center 3, health center 4.
Yes.
You get it, eh? Or general hospitals.
Yes.
Because it's in line. Now here we have the so-called NDP. But to be honest, how it is actually implemented leaves a lot of question marks.
A lot of question marks.
I have looked at the development plan of Tanzania.
You have really benchmarked Tanzania.
My God. I have taken time to
do you have citizenship in
I
Tanzania?
feel so bad.
It's so, no?
Soon and very
If
soon.
I could be guaranteed another life on earth, I would choose to be born
We
in
need to talk to
Tanzania.
Madame Suruhu, Her Excellency Suruhu, to just take you on. You would perform very well.
I would appreciate
And
that.
we will tell how we are giving you our finest who has made sure that has implemented the project
So please.
in one of the most needed districts. Thank you, James. Yes, you were still emphasizing on that issue.
Yes. So the planning overall determines what the politicians can be able to deliver.
Yes.
Okay? It doesn't work in isolation. So many times also we injure them a lot, but also them sometimes either out of ignorance or just outright lack of knowledge. No, that's the reality.
I was about to ask.
If an MP can say, I signed this paper thinking it was this. What do you sign? You don't. Certain things like
wrong with this one.
yeah. So back to that, I think they need to always, as they are going out there on the trail to talk to people or to make their promises, they should be able to understand the landscape. And then they bring it down to their local levels.
Yes.
At your district level, what are the needs for the local populace?
Yes.
You want to go to Butaleja and start promising people to give them dairy cows. However, if you're in Mbarara, it is okay, it is ideal.
Okay. Because they have experience in that.
Exactly.
So
we have heard of people who have received goats and they have died.
Yes.
Because they were not trained on how.
They are being told copy. These guys have done it the other side. So even
So
you just
please,
have.
even us, we can copy
You
this and do
see,
this.
we have looked at politicians. The one thing I want to ask a politician on the show is the part of the citizens.
Yes.
Because much as we look at politicians and we have to evaluate their role, what is the role? What is the part that citizens should play in this implementation of the budget? How can they influence budget utilization?
When we are looking at the citizens and the budget,
Yes.
in most cases, others even don't know what is going on. Apart from, you said your auntie
Yes, my auntie somewhere.
who went
My
to
sister
buy,
who went to buy a mat and was told.
and was told that.
I was told budget budget so
Apart from,
she was also confused. She was wondering, so budget budget so how do you increase the
other
price
people,
of papyrus from Namkoko?
other people don't even know that there is something called a budget, which is read. Then others pay attention, by the way, to the nitty-gritties of the budget which is read. For me, as of course with the citizens, sometimes they may not be blamed so much because of the ignorance part, but maybe I would say the role which which other channels, whereby we can use other channels to help the downer person understand that there is something going on. Yeah, because now when someone doesn't know something, may not be eager to understand what is going on because he doesn't know. So when we are looking at the participation of the citizens into the budget implementation,
yes.
you may find out that sometimes because they don't know what is going on, they may not be able to participate. So first of all, I think there is need for sensitization for the masses to understand that there is something called budget reading, or there is something called the budget, and how important it is to that person to really understand when they read this budget, how am I affected, or what is the real impact of this budget after it has been read. For me, I bring it back to the people who are responsible of sensitizing the citizens before they participate. Because truth be told, like this previous we had the nation
State of the
Nation address. Some people didn't even know that was going on. And when we are talking about these people, we are not talking about the people in Butaleja. Even here in Kampala, people didn't know that the State of the Nation address was going on. So it is the same thing with the budget. So if we need the citizens, the full participation of citizens into the budget implementation or into the budget process, or getting at least ideas out of them, then we must also understand the importance of them understanding that there is a budget. Because if we know that they are not important, which means even sensitization will not be important. Which means they will not know, they will continue not knowing. And they will always be alerted by maybe the increase in prices, they will be alerted by anything that comes there when they are like, what is not happening?
What's not happening? Yeah.
So basically, they need sensitization, first of all, to understand the importance of knowing that there is something going on. Then after that, they will get involved according to what they have learned.
Okay.
Yes.
James, anything you want to add on that?
What I want to say is that proper budgeting should be a bottom-up approach. But what happens right now is just
downwards.
They wake up one day, this is what you're going to do.
Or maybe I think that's why they are not even aware.
So it's not reflective. To get the layman to fully appreciate what a budget is, you need to find ways of involving them in the process. And this starts from a micro level.
Yes.
Okay. At the district level, go down to the sub-county, go down to the parish, go down to the village.
Yes.
Our village, what is our need? A, B, C, D. The villages, parish level, what is our need? A, B, C, D. Sub-county level, what's their need? Then you aggregate. So that way, the people will know that for us, in the next financial year, this is what we would love to see. And then that's when the technocrats can, based on that raw data, to say, okay, across the country, maybe 80% are concerned about infrastructure. So meaning that we have to give infrastructure a higher priority.
We are going to step into a short commercial break. I think it's absurd. It's very absurd to get to the way things happen in our country sometimes, that the most important things are not given a much priority by the people, the beneficiaries, because the citizens are the beneficiaries of the first beneficiaries of this budget. But also, one of the things that I think for me I would look at really so strongly, and I would remind the Ugandan, I think is to make sure these people accounted for, can account for the budget that has been allocated. Because clearly, a citizen may not be able to, influence, not influence, but see that budget has been allocated. But if they demand for accountability, we have been told the municipal council has gotten this amount of money in the budget. We have been told the district has received this amount of money in the budget. This is going to education. What has changed in education? We've been told that it has received this amount of money in the roads. LC5 chairperson, head of planning in the district, and whoever. What has been done after this money has been allocated? Has it come? Was it going to come? Is what was planned before received? I think I would love to see that in the citizens. According to me, I think I would love to see that. When we return, I think I would like to hear more on the leaders, and how best they can build that relationship, the budget allocation and the citizens. I think I would love to get to understand that more. Right now, we're going to a short commercial break. On return, Smart 24 TV is still here. My name is Noah, and this is the Economic Agenda. You are watching up to 10:30. Stay tuned.
Smart 24, driving business.
My name is Chomukisa Teddy from Chikube district. I'm a businesswoman in fashion and design. I've been doing this for almost 10 years. From what I know before I came, it was making gomez, trousers, dresses in vitenge, and some shirts in vitenge for men. Been here for 1 month, but I've learned how to stitch a trouser with a behind pocket. I've learned a long sleeve shirt with a placket. I've learned how to use a button machine on shirts. There's a button machine we use. You place the button machine, you put the buttons on your shirt. I've learned how to use a baby lock machine. When I go back to Chikube, first and foremost, I know now, since I have knowledge, I will have to extend my business. The message to Grow Project is to support us as women, because not only me who is there down, others are being left there. I want all of us to be lifted at a go as women in my district of Chikube. Again, the project of Grow continues supporting us. As I have told you, that fashion and design is wide. We need more trainings. And we need these machines of electronic machines, because they are very expensive. We cannot afford to buy them. The cutter, the rotary cutter, the baby lock, that one of stitching, we cannot afford, because one machine almost it is on 2 million, whereby like me with my small business, I cannot afford to buy that machine. So we are requesting the project of Grow and other stakeholders to assist us and buy for us those machines.
Grow, generating growth opportunities and productivity for women enterprises.
Flavors of Africa.
Enjoy your favorite shows anywhere. Download DSTV Stream today.
Amanya gange bampita Agnes Kasoga. Kolera nakawa nze muwanguzi na wangudde school fees. Na desimanyi ebintu bino bya ddala kubanga ne yankubira namulimba nnyo. Ne mugamba nkolera nakifuma nga manyi bafere olwamala ate naddamu nankubira ne mugamba ekituufu sikolera nakifuma badde manyi muli bafere nga simanyi bya ddala nalabirawo nga baŋŋamba ndi omu ku bawanguzi naye nsanyuka nnyo.
Akalulu k'omuwanguzi!
Okuwangula kyangu nnyo, teeka ssente ku ssimu yo otandika okusasulira ku ssimu yo. Abantu mbakakasiza era nabagambye bwe mulaba nga bampadde ne mbagamba nga mutegeera bituufu kubanga nange mwennyini mbadde nga ku TV nga manyi balimba naye ke neerabiddeko bwe nti kyekyo ddala kyekyo MTN osobola okuwangula.
Together, we're unstoppable.
Smart 24, driving business.
Okay, right there. Thank you so much for being part of the show. Sometimes behind the screen you get into conversations that get to be more interesting than what you bring on there, but that's for us. Before we left, we were looking at citizens and their engagement into budget implementation. Logos was emphasizing about the need for citizens to understand that budget is important. The national budget is important to them. And of course, James was highlighting some of the ways that, citizens should try to see how they influence and make sure that they get something good out of the budget. This is Smart 24 TV that you're watching. My name is Noah, and this is the Economic Agenda. Right into this conversation, we have highlighted quite a number of very important things. And to me, my concern, and one of the things that I was trying to talk about was how best we can get Ugandans to utilize some of these things. The most important things in Uganda are being ignored. You talk about general elections, Ugandans shun away from them. You talk about the national budget, Ugandans just don't want to know. You talk about so many other things, Ugandans just, even the national census, Ugandans have been forced to be counted. Well, others had religious issues, which, they were dealt with seriously. The Jesus type. He was called Jesus. Now, Logos, yes. I want to bring this to you as a politician and a leader in your capacity. What are some of those measures that leaders should take to ensure transparency and accountability in budgeting? As a political leader, let me say that.
Thank you. For me, in most cases, I always look at all factors in a healthy way. If I'm looking at competition, I look at the health competition. If I look at criticism, I look at the health criticism.
Yes.
So for me, in the political arena, I would look at the benchmark, the health benchmarking, the admiration from us. Like me, I'm from Butaleja. When I come to Kampala, what do I look at which I would love to at least take back home? So I would look at the leaders who admire to transform their areas through benchmarking.
Yes.
Like we can go ahead and do the countrywide assessment, whereby as you move to the different places, you're going to pick a leaf.
Yes.
And when you come back home, you devise means on how to achieve what you saw somewhere. So with the benchmarking and through the assessment that you have carried out from the different areas, I think this one can always help in budget allocation of the resources that we have. Or maybe the resources that have been given to us in the different areas. Then I would also look at government should at least spare sometime, but I think the time is there. But maybe the resources, whereby these leaders must go back to their local governments and at least attend these the councils, the council meetings. Yes, because in most cases they don't know that they're even supposed to attend those council meetings. They don't even know what is discussed there. Maybe sometimes they don't even know that they are involved in the budget allocation. They implement it. I don't know. But that's what I think, that they must also be involved by attending the council meetings. And this
is for the citizens.
Yes, because whenever they attend the council meeting, sometimes you tap into something that you may not have known, because they may not have time to research on the ground, but they can always discover it there and at least see how they demystify that such it could be a problem, how they have to take it up.
I want to put myself in that picture, and personally, I don't remember ever attending a council meeting, and also just to see. Some of us, yes, we have access to this data.
Yes.
And budget is when you go to Ministry of Finance, this budget is clear. Actually, you can see everything, how it was allocated, and how much, in even the penny that was allocated. If it's at the district level, you see how much was allocated at the district level. If it's in education, you're going to see exactly
the breakdown.
When you go to the budget even on the website of Ministry of Finance, you're going to get all these things detailed. So the citizens may not know that, but I think one of the things that you're highlighting is to encourage citizens to make sure that they attend.
The citizens and the leaders.
And the leaders, yes.
Yeah, actually, that's where sensitization comes in. That is when this citizen on the ground is going to appreciate. Like for instance.
So in other words, you're looking at leaders in terms of MPs.
Yeah.
Because I would expect the council, the district, the chairperson, the mayor, and all that to be at the council.
But also sometimes they may not know. So it is your responsibility to at least alert them that you know what, for you to have this smooth service delivery, these people must know. Sometimes they may know, but they may not know the importance. So they must understand and appreciate the whole procedure, and this information can always go down to the citizens. Now the the grassroots person, and this person, when they also have time, they must be encouraged.
Yes,
they must be encouraged, because people are funny. When we are looking at listening to someone, a person may not even listen to the LOC1 chairperson, but when MP has talked, they will say, MP Gundi atugambye tukole wetu. You get it? So they will listen to you. So sometimes we need to get some time. Maybe you can even go to the radio and say, maybe they're going to read a budget at a district, and I'm encouraging for those who have some time, please come and listen. And of course,
is it, James, you are at local government level? I would say that, because the board, as a chairperson of the hospital, is more of under the district. Are some of these things considered by the district leadership that citizens need to know about their budget? Is it something that is common?
No, and I would understand why. One, that's how it has always been.
Status quo.
As it was in the beginning. Okay? And just know that most government most people who are working in local government, they never want to change the status quo. You're creating unnecessary work.
Yes.
Two, it's also opening up avenues for criticism.
Wow.
And many are scared of criticism.
Yeah. You have fallen out with the number of them.
Yeah, little do they know that it is through such engagement
that you
actually get to learn. We did it at the hospital when we got into that board of the hospital. We started engaging the public the image of Busole Hospital was rotten.
I was born in that hospital.
To the power, I don't know, infinity. And we chose to engage. Of course, you go there, they abuse you, but as they abuse you,
they learn to appreciate.
And you show them the good, because even every cloud has a silver lining, like the saying says. So slowly they began realizing there's something good coming out of that place. Now, over the years, the image has transformed. When it came to the project, the reconstruction project for the hospital renovation, again, we fully engaged the public. And they responded. Attendance was so huge. Okay? And as a result, the contractor was always on tenterhooks to ensure that he delivers as required.
Exactly.
So, assuming it was being practiced in other areas, the monitoring the government budgets wouldn't be a problem. Look at the schools, where they release billions and you find nothing constructed.
With the other, there is a structure they were showing us, which should have spent a certain good amount of money. And when you look at the outcome, you're...
there's that hospital, Luboa, on Entebbe Road, for example. $370 million.
Gone, the foundation is not yet
in
up.
Dodoma, the Tanzanians have built a hospital bigger than that one for $60 million and furnished it full with a higher number of patients. All specialist international hospitals.
So
we're not allowed to monitor this.
So back to this, considering Logos's presentation of trying to encourage budget at district level, because we are a decentralized government. We are a decentralized governance. That means what is done at Parliament is done at local government.
Yes.
You are allowed to make an appointment and go to Parliament and attend sessions. And Parliament sessions are broadcasted live on national television, which Logos was highlighting and saying possibly you can communicate this on radio and make sure that citizens know that the budget at district level is going to be done. Unfortunately, according to James, you think that if the local leaders did this, then they will be hit on by criticism.
Attend a local council meeting. Believe you me, chances are that not more than 5 people will wake up and will stand up and make an eloquent of more than 2 minutes. The most you'll hear is I second. I'm telling you this. Now put them on radio and their voters are listening. They will
I solo swear. I Solomon is.
You get it? That's the reality. So some of these things you're talking about, unless even at that level of governance.
But these councils are in local languages. I still wonder why communication would be hard. And I still wonder why they wouldn't debate and discuss these things effectively.
That's a discussion for another day.
We are talking about transparency and accountability and the measures that have to be taken. And thank you, James, for the emphasis on the issue of our leaders going against criticism. And thank you, Logos, for the measure that transparency can actually come if effective communication is implemented.
Yes.
And this is something that possibly someone out there need to emphasize and see. Because like we said, the budget is going to be read. And the only conversation that is going to come is in 2025 when the budget is going to be read again.
No, actually, you're asking why people say budget so mean. What the understanding of most people with budget is equals to increase in prices.
It is actually a simple.
Talk of budget, price increase. That's all.
They don't know the nitty-gritties of the budget which has been read.
They are young, the things are good. That's it, budget.
That is why we sit and tell you that this road is going to be made. It's going to be tarmacked when you even don't know that it wasn't even read in the budget.
And the leader will come and campaign and tell us.
And the person on the ground will not know that.
Because they do not relate with the budget.
Yes.
So someone comes and says, if this road is not,
Yeah, but thanks to social media, it's bridging the gap.
It's bridging the gap.
So you're having this information now flowing around. The people who have the information release it to others who spread it through multiple channels.
We're still into evaluating. I think we got into that part of how citizens can keep leaders accountable. I think this is going to be my last conversation before I go to bed tonight. And I know you're a politician.
Yes.
You need to be kept in check, just in case you hit a jackpot out there, and you are in parliament or you are in whichever position. This time you're speaking as a citizen. How do we keep our leaders in check and accountable?
First of all, the leaders, when you trace back from the journey, they have moved into leadership. Into leadership. Of course, that is the layman's side.
Yes.
Whereby they will look at what were you promising, and they'll hold you accountable according to what you say.
Yes.
But again, when we come to the reality of the roles and responsibilities of the leaders, they will, we shall look at how have you delivered our needs to the top level.
Okay.
Because now we are moving from, the message is moving from down this time round, because there is trust that this leader is working for us as a channel.
Yes.
Because that's what I believe in leadership, that we are channels.
Yes.
There is something going through you, and there is something through you to somewhere, then from somewhere to back. So whether positive or negative, you must report back. So basically, we are looking at how you deliver the message that is during the political journey now.
Political journey.
Then from the political journey, we are now into the leadership process now. We are now looking at how you are going to implement. If what you said you didn't implement it, what could be the reason? So first of all, I would really expect the way you came promising.
Yes.
You should come back and.
We should expect the same energy.
Yeah, because it is the time. If you had little time to promise, this time round you are alone. Yeah, you are alone because you succeeded alone. Because when they're announcing you on that position, you are alone.
Yes.
You have enough time to explain, because it is always normal to always say, I said this, but because of this, this, and this, this is now the state. Yes, I promised a school, but because of this, but this also defends you according to the language you use. Because if you said you will, they are not expecting any government hand, because you did not talk about government at that time. So with the person who is on ground is going to hold you accountable according to your words, that you used. Then for those now the will type, they will hold you accountable according to the government procedure.
I didn't know there was a will type.
Advocates.
For them, they know where they get the information, where they are going to hold you accountable. You as a leader at the level of a legislator, you are supposed to do this. Why haven't you done it?
Yes.
And you must be able to explain to him, for him to understand.
The good thing is that you're in politics.
Yeah.
Please promise us well. We are going to make sure that we use the same approach to keep you accountable.
To keep me accountable. And by the way, I'm very free with that.
Being kept accountable.
Yeah, because I know that she's there.
Accountability.
Accountability is there, and indeed you have to be accountable if it was your responsibility to perform.
Nice.
Yeah.
James, I know on accountability, citizen accountability, this is a 20 years of working experience. Please, pour it out. Because I think it's a part that we are failing. 'Cause we are failing as citizens, honestly speaking.
Well, the good thing is that when you put the information out there, Yeah, we are shortchanging ourselves as citizens when it comes to accountability and making sure that the government is accountable to us. We just look on, we're usually aloof. A project is taking place in the neighborhood, no one cares to monitor it. Then after 2 years, the contractor claims are finished. Then when things are not right, they're like, they just didn't do anything much. Now you're complaining after. In other words, it's a post-mortem. Yet you could have had a pre-mortem. Okay? When you participate in the process, people should be eager to know what's going on. You're setting up a new school. How are they constructing it? Okay? How are they doing? You need to, we as citizens, we need to get eager and not say, oh, government is doing it and leave it up to them. Believe you me, what you leave to the government, even those they tell to implement, will also cause loopholes. Yes. Contractors, for example, they will not do things the way they promised on paper. Now, yet you could help check. Okay, so citizens need to wake up, and this is where things like CBOs need to also put effort in, so that when government puts aside whatever little money it has put aside to effect something,
we have to make sure
we need to get delivery. We always complain government is not doing this, they're not giving us enough. But when you ask them, I do that a lot in the village, ask them, okay, the little we were given, how much have we done? You have the road networks, for example, in the districts, not good enough. They give us little money. Then, okay, they gave you, out of 2 billion, they gave you 1 billion. Can you show us works worth 1 billion? Let's start from there.
Thank you so much, James. Let me give Logos 1 minute to make a final remarks to the viewers out there. I know somebody here called Barbara Kadundi was saying, and of course so many of you guys, but this one has been persistent. So for the people that are watching, thank you so much. Now to your final remarks about this topic.
Yes.
In 1 minute.
Basically, I would love to encourage the citizens to really appreciate the budget process, right from the national level to, if we are to hold accountable the leaders, the lead. No, okay, it may not necessarily be leaders, but the different parties who are allocated the budget resources, because when you don't understand the origin, you may not understand the end. So I would really encourage our citizens, our people, to really pick interest into understanding, for those who are capable of even understanding the nitty-gritties of the budget. I would love, or I would encourage that people take time to understand the budget, and also stop. We should stop. We should stop this type of lying us around here and there. Yeah, because this one will help us appreciate and also focus. Or in whatever you do, you plan according to according to what you know. Not just like today certain families may plan not even understanding the source of resources, but just thinking. So it would be better for us to have the facts on the ground, and after that it will help us planning right from grassroots up to national level.
Thank you so much. James, in 1 minute.
Yeah, personally I think it's important that as citizenry we should always be eager to ensure that we get what we deserve.
Yes.
Let's not think that we're being done a favor. We shouldn't look at it like we're being done a favor. What is ours is ours. We pay tax, and as a result of paying tax, that is where these services and other infrastructure requirements are met. So if we do not play a key role in ensuring that it is done as expected, then we shall end up with crappy delivery.
Thank you. Thank you very much, James. And thank you so much, Logos. I'm glad to have had you today on this show. Let those who have ears hear, what the Lord tells the church.
Wow.
So this is a gospel that we have preached today. It's about leadership and accountability. One of the most important conversations we need to have in this season, because the budget is going to be read. As a Ugandan out there, wherever you are, in Rakai, in Masindi, in Hoima, in Kabale, wherever you are, Arua, you just need to make sure that you take note of what has been allocated to the different services. Sometimes we mind our business, but service delivery is our business too, and we need to make sure that those services are delivered before we come back and begin blaming the government. They haven't done this, but it was allocated. You left. People play around with what was yours, so we need to see. Whistleblowers are important, and I have had one of them until he was, hey, you need to listen to that story. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for being part of the show. This is Smart 24 TV. My name is Noah Opera. And this is the economic agenda. It happens every Tuesday from 9 up to 10:30. And we want to wish you a good night. Until next week, stay blessed for more programs.